If you're a homeowner in Central Florida, or if you're looking to become one soon, this special report is going to make you money.
Do you want to stay ahead of the curve? There's a good chance you probably already do because you're watching this. We use real-time data that's relevant today, and you don't have to wait 4 to 6 weeks as you do in most reports to get it. At the very end of this report, we're going to do a special report for just our friends. We can create this for your community, basically the same report, but a little more in depth. There's more of that coming. But right now, Jacquie, we cover 5 different topics we're going to talk about today.
Right. And all of them include the counties Osceola, Lake, Orange, and Seminole counties. And we're going to focus on, when we say units, we're talking about single family homes, townhomes, and also condos.
The topics we're going to cover today are the numbers of homes sold, the average sale price. We're also going to cover days on market, interest rates, and the most important, which is the affordability index. That one is kind of spooky. Stick around. You're going to want to hear this.
Put my glasses on for this one. The first thing we're going to talk about are the sold homes. When we're looking at the number of homes sold, usually they're trend upward, but as this graph shows you, from January through April 2021, now look at January through April 2022, you see it increase a little bit. But here's something interesting. From January through April 2023, you see those numbers have gone down. From 2021 to 2023, it's almost half of the numbers sold.
So the question always comes up, what causes that kind of drop? And the word that you and I talk about all the time is panic, buyer panic.
And especially tied with the interest rates. Everyone seems to think, oh, I'm going to wait, I'm going to hold because the interest rates are going to go down, but they haven't been.
Right, we're going to talk about the interest rates in just a second because holy smoke. However, we have an opinion of what's going to happen in those interest rates in the next 6 months to a year, which I think is a very positive outlook, so stick with it. Besides just the interest rates, we have an issue with affordability too, because the interest rates make it affordable. So we've taken buyers out of the pool. We'll cover that in the affordability part. For right now, why don't you and I jump over to the average sale price and talk about that?
Okay, glasses back on.
So when I look at this graph, I immediately look at the average sale price has gone up over the last 3 years. It's important to note that we take a little over a 2-year running history because we want to see what happened in the last 4 months. That's why you see January, February, March, and April of 2021, the first slides. But wow, what a difference. An average sale price 2 years ago in April of 2021 was $364,000. And then in April of 2022, holy cow, 446, and we're at 455. So we're actually higher than we were year over year. That's surprising to me, and especially with our interest rates as high as they are. And this comes to supply and demand.
Right.
There isn't any supply, so the demand by law has to pay more because there's nothing available.
And it's really funny because sometimes the buyer mentality is, oh no, the prices are going down. And we're like, no, they're really not, as evident on this graph.
Well, across the nation, the existing home sales actually fell by 2.4%. The price fell a little bit, but in our market, in the Florida market, Central Florida particularly, hasn't fallen.
I think they're looking at the news and saying, oh, everything's going down. No, you have to like micro look at it. You know?
And that's why we do that report. You'll see it at the end if you want to take a look at it. But you've got to know your specific area because each little community is different. There's areas in Orlando in Central Florida where the prices are dropping. And there's areas in Central Florida where the prices are going up a lot. And it's important to know which one you're in.
Now we're going to analyze the days on market graph as you're seeing here.
So this is our days on market graph. And the first thing you're going to notice is when you look at you see this trend where the properties, it kind of drops down and goes back up as far as the number of days on the market. Using an example of February, April, March, May, June, July, and August of 2021, you'll see how it drops down to a low of 25 in August 2021.
That's where the summers are hitting, right?
That's correct.
And
that's
people
our summer
are moving
market.
in and out of the school zones.
Right.
And that's why there's fewer days on the market. People are snatching up those homes.
Well, they have to. There's a buying season. We notice this happens again in February, March, April, and May and June. But that's when we had the all-time lowest interest rates. Remember?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Those days were a bidding war crazy, going above the sales price of the home.
So to cause that drop, we had really low interest rates and we had the busiest time of year. Well, now let's go to 2023. February, March, and April, it's starting to
go
drop.
Down.
Right, from a 53 to a 41.
But how low will it go?
I don't think it can go much lower. And here's why. Affordability is an issue. We've got a challenge with this. Our interest rates are still too high, and they're going to be until after January of next year. And I'll explain that in a little bit. So this creates an interesting dynamic. Let's take a look at the interest rates because that's going to be another part, and then we'll get to affordability.
Take a look at these interest rates. Wow. And I wish we could go back to January 2021, but look at how that trend just goes upward.
This plays into affordability like nothing else will, except for having no homes on the market, which jacks our prices up. What we're looking at, though, is we're now mortgaging at 6.97%. That is crazy. Now, when we jump that into affordability, it's going to make a difference. Now, I think this is important. You and I talk about this all the time. They're not going to stay this high for a long period of time. We have an election coming up, and no political party should ever have bad interest rates during an election. So I'm sure we'll get those manipulated down in the coming years. Would you like a detailed report for your community? We do that for our friends and our family. We've talked of this before. At the end of this video is going to be a full report, what that looks like. If you're interested in it, there's a link down below, and we will make one just for you. You can also get on our calendar and have a conversation with us anytime, or call us and email us. It's written. Our emails are in the descriptions as well.
Now we're going to take a look at the affordability chart, and it's important to note that when your debt to income ratio is over 40%, it's incredibly hard to get a loan. And when it's over 50%, it's basically impossible.
So now we're back looking at this chart, and you're going to see that as of like April of 2022, we got to an affordability of about 37.37%, and then it really kind of went to an average of over 40. And here's the thing that's the challenge. At 40% debt to income ratio, you can't have a student loan. That's just the bare minimum to get a loan with really good credit. But we're also going to notice, if we go back to the chart, we're going to notice that in the beginning of 2023, we went up to a 49, a 50, and a 53 or 51% debt to income ratio this month.
That's so high.
That's based on the average sale price on a 30-year mortgage, and we mortgaged the entire amount. So we just, to be fair, it's not $455,000 with a it was a 6.7 and a 9.3% interest. We took the whole amount. We didn't take out for like 3% down or 10% down. So it's a little bit skewed. However, if you have a student loan, you couldn't get a home.
You can't get a house.
Period. If you have a car payment that's got more than a year left, you can't get a house. It's crazy. What we've done is because of the interest rates going up, we have priced an entire section of the buyer pool out of the market. It is important to note that we used a household income of $100,000 on this because it gives us something to work on. So Jacquie, now just between you and I, do you think this is going to be sustained, that we'll have these interest rates sustained?
I hope not.
Okay. I don't believe they will. And I go to an election. We have an election coming up, and we need to correct our economy. Now, I'm not making any political statements at all, but the truth of the matter is, if you walk into an election year with a bad economy, you're in harm's way. It is our belief that they're going to do everything possible to fix the financial position, the interest rates, all that stuff, bring them back down for 2024. This year is going to be a little tighter. Something that you and I talked about as well. If you're buying a home and selling a home,
where do you go?
The challenge is, what do I do?
Sellers have a really hard time right now. They want to move, but they're like, that's what they always say. Where am I going to go, Jacquie? Like,
luckily,
North Carolina? I'm just kidding.
But we've been able to help, because the thing is, you're marrying the house, you're dating the rate. You have to say that slowly, by the way, because that can get really ugly if you don't. But you're dating the rate. The rate's going to change, so you refi. So I did the numbers based on our average sale prices because I thought you'd want to know this. If you were to purchase a house right now with the regular current rates, as opposed to buying a rate down 1/4 or 0.5%, it won't make a big difference, but it's going to cost you about $5,000 to do so. It'll cost you $5,000 to take a home mortgage at this price, and then a year from now refinance it down to, let's say, 5% or even lower, depending on where the mortgage rate's going to be. It's not a bad time to buy, but you got to do it with strategy, and we can help with that.
We're always available to help.
All right, so what's going to play next is a quick video on what kind of report you can get if you want one. We want to thank you for being here. I'm George, and this
is Jacquie. And by the way, if you like the content that we're putting out, it would help us by just dropping a little comment and say, yes, please continue to do these market reports, and we'll continue to do them for you.
Check our channel. We got a lot of information for buying and selling homes, especially in the Central Florida area. Have a great day. God bless you. We'll see you soon.
Bye for now.
Here's a quick clip on that report. So the reports that we create for our friends and our family include, obviously, the information about the home, as well as the current estimated value, as you're seeing on these 2 pages. Now, we also go a lot deeper into home facts and the extended home facts as well. And this allows us to really refine our value. And you'll actually see that the last page we're going to talk about is the refined home value, which includes some adjustments that would be made as well. Now, this is a 81-page report that will be sent to you that is very specific to your home, your community, and everything else. It is important that you have all the facts when making such an important decision.